So here's a question that could possibly change how you think about life. Would you rather have $150 billion in the bank, but you are forced to be 95 years old like Warren Buffett? Or you only have $150, but be 20 years old with your whole life ahead of you? You gotta be honest, because this question forces us to confront the ultimate trade-off: time versus money. Now, Warren Buffett himself once said, "I can buy anything I want except time." The man is a multi-billionaire. I mean, he's a billionaire 150 times over, but even he can't turn back the clock. So if you're hustling right now, sacrificing sleep, meals, relationships, health, to secure the bag, ask yourself, is it even worth it? And the thing about most people is they think they have to pick one, either health or wealth. Even myself, I thought that for like 4 years of my business. I thought, well, I'm so focused on health. The reason why I'm not getting results in my business or I'm not making more money is because I'm prioritizing too much time in health and not enough on business. So I completely stopped worrying about health. Maybe I worked out once, twice a week, and then I really focused on wealth. But the thing about that and why it's broken, it's part of hustle culture. And hustle culture glorifies late nights, fast food, or just, quick snacks and putting your body on the back burner. After all, who has time for an hour at the gym when you've got emails to answer and meetings to attend and things to do that will make you more money, right? But here's the reality. According to the World Health Organization, 60% of health problems worldwide are tied to lifestyle choices. And I would bet that this number is actually higher than that. Things from bad diets, lack of exercise, not getting enough sunlight, bad sleep, chronic stress. These aren't just numbers. These are avoidable diseases costing the global economy $47 trillion between 2010 and 2030. And it might be even more. So what's the point of making millions if you're spending your 50s and 60s paying it all back to the healthcare system and living a shorter and less desirable life? Well, think about Warren Buffett. Even Warren Buffett, who spends his life talking about the value of compounding interest, admits that health is the ultimate investment. And think about it. Would Buffett trade his billions to be 30 again? Of course he would. The irony is that while he mastered the art of growing wealth, he's always emphasized the importance of health, even if it doesn't seem like it. And it's something that money can't buy once it's gone, unless you're Brian Johnson. Joking. You might be thinking, well, okay, fine. Let me just focus on passive income. Well, that might just be another trap. You see, passive income is often sold as like the holy grail of investment and finance. Example number one, start a YouTube channel like the one I started a long time ago. Then invest in crypto, buy rental properties. Boom, you're sipping margaritas on a beach while your bank account grows. What they don't tell you is that actually chasing passive income will eventually wreck your health if you're not careful. For example, let's just take the most common passive income besides crypto, and that is Airbnb rentals, like an actual business, right? And let's sit down and let's take a look at it, okay? So sure, you can make thousands a month renting out properties. I mean, first you have to buy the properties, etc., but managing repairs, dealing with guests, and handling cancellations, it's not as passive as influencers like to claim. And if you're not careful, the stress ends up adding up. And yeah, it's like, oh, well, I'll just hire out those jobs and, I don't have to worry about the day-to-day. Well, you're still the one taking all of the risk. And so that business, that Airbnb business that you thought was gonna be so passive, ends up being just another full-time job, just, managing either employees or the actual properties themselves. Okay, fine, I won't do that. I'll maybe do day trading. Okay, and funny thing is, I've done day trading. I've done trading in general. Another so-called passive income stream. Oh, just do it for an hour a day, it's so passive, then you can enjoy the rest of your day. Well, funny enough, research shows that 95% of day traders lose money long term. And the remaining 5%, they're glued to screens for hours a day, if not more than a 9 to 5, ruining their posture, their eyesight, their mental health, their emotional health, and the relationship that they have with either people, themselves, or their money. So what is seemingly like a passive income is not only not passive, but it's more stressful than, a regular income. So let's talk about the billionaire blueprint for balance, okay? And what is the answer for that balance? And I like to look at how billionaires approach this. So Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and even Warren Buffett, they don't view health and wealth as separate. Well, maybe besides Elon Musk, but that they're sort of complementary. And a perfect example of a person that thinks this is Jeff Bezos, and I think as well as Brian Johnson. You see, Bezos actually once said that if you can't take care of your body, where are you gonna live? And he credits his peak productivity to focusing on sleep, exercise, and diet. Although he didn't look super great back in the early Amazon days, but look at him now. And when Amazon was growing exponentially, Bezos didn't pull all-nighters or sleep in the factory floor like Elon Musk. He prioritized 8 hours of sleep, because he knew that he was one bad decision away from either failure or at least costing him billions of dollars and his investors billions of dollars, right? And there is an actual sweet spot, okay? And this is where health and wealth intersect. And I did a whole video on this, but basically, researchers found that for most people, earning around $75,000 to $100,000 annually per person is enough to cover basic needs, save, and afford a healthy lifestyle. Anything beyond that, the happiness and health returns start to sort of plateau. Now, of course, they still can grow, and I think like Brian Johnson is a perfect example of that, spending $2 million a year on, health tests and trying new medications, vitamins, and all kinds of regimens. But the point is that you could get 90% of what he's doing on a 6-figure salary, on $100K a year. So the goal isn't just to get rich or look rich or whatever, it's to find the balance where your money works for you and your body sustains your lifestyle. And so here's how to build true wealth and health at the same time. And this could be a video on its own, but I'm just gonna give it to you short, sweet, and to the point. And if you watch nothing else on this channel or anywhere else on YouTube or even read a single book about investments, you will be healthier and wealthier than you ever have in your life. At least that's the idea. So this is the step-by-step playbook to build that wealth without sacrificing your health at all. So the first thing we wanna do is we wanna automate your investments. Set up automatic contributions to index funds or ETFs. Studies show that dollar cost averaging into the stock market reduces stress and increases returns long-term. Platforms like Vanguard, Fidelity, Robinhood make it easy to set and forget. Next, you wanna invest in REITs and dividend stocks. And again, this is optional. Like you could literally just do step number 1 and already be way better off than most people. But if you want to see, a passive income sort of feely money coming in, this is where REITs and dividend stocks come in. So if you want passive income, look into REITs. I don't know if you know what REITs are, but real estate investment trusts. I like the platform Fundrise for this, which is basically a REIT, but there are more specific REITs on Robinhood. There's a bunch of ticker symbols. I'll put 1 or 2 here on the screen for you. And what they do is they generate basically a dividend, a certain yield on your investment. And that is your steady cash flow that comes in without headaches of managing physical properties like Airbnb or even managing long-term rentals. You don't have to deal with any of that. The other thing that will actually not just make you rich, but rich on the healthy side, is to prioritize your sleep and your fitness. And the American Heart Association found that just 30 minutes of exercise a day cuts your risk of heart disease by 35%. Pair that with 7-8 hours of quality sleep, and you're literally extending your life. And the other thing that you can do that will not make you possibly richer, also happier and healthier, is to start an active side hustle that you actually enjoy. Like if you like knitting, knit. And maybe you'll make some money. And if you don't, that's okay. At least you got some happiness out of it. Typically these things decrease stress. And at the same time as making money off of this, it increases the likelihood that you will live a longer and happier life. So find something that feels fulfilling. Maybe it's coaching. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's creating content. The key is that it doesn't feel like work. So it supports your mental health while generating income. It's pretty cool, and it allows you to enjoy some of that passive time that you have to yourself, and at the same time, possibly generating some income and extending your life. Literally, your body will thank you for it, and so will your wallet. Now, here is the challenge that I have for you. Start treating your health and wealth as one investment portfolio. Every morning, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do for my body today? And what's one thing I can do for my finances today? Then stick to it. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of having millions of dollars in the bank if you're too sick to spend it? And try to remember that it's not health versus wealth. That's what we always think. It's like, if I sacrifice a little bit of my health, I'll make more money. Or hey, if I take some PTO and go on a vacation, I'll be happier. And I think it's not those things, but it's health and wealth. So choose balance. because no amount of money can buy back time or a second chance at life. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if it brought you some joy or some insight on investing, health, whatever, go check out, I have actually a whole health channel that I just launched not too long ago. It has some videos on there from a few years back, but all the new content that we're putting on there is hopefully gonna change the way you think about health. And at the same time, if you like investing or money or business content, stick around here, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't ever miss a video like this. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this one, YouTube actually suggests that you will also enjoy one of these videos here. See you in the next one. Thanks.